Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. I'm a bit under the weather, so apologies if I sound a bit ropey doing this video, but let's do this. Female Fighter of the Year. This is not going to be easy. I just done the Male Fighter of the Year. Go and check out that video. That one, I comfortably had my top two. Like, you know, third place could have gone to anyone, but top two was banked. This one, I don't think top two is banked. I think this is going to be a very, very good discussion. I really do. Look, get yours in. Who are your top three female fighters of the year? Again, I've got four names in front of me. I'm going to reveal the four in a minute. All four have had fantastic years. All four have fought twice, but they've all had one marquee fight. So I guess what we're trying to discuss here is who had the biggest marquee, biggest single fight, who had the biggest single win out of all four. We'll discuss their second fights as well. Like, for example, Katie Taylor fought Carbajal. Claressa Shields fought Emma Kozin. Alycia Baumgardner fought Matisse. And Chantel Cameron fought Bustos. So those are my four, by the way. Now, in their big fights, Katie Taylor fought Amanda Serrano. Claressa Shields fought Savannah Marshall. Alycia Baumgardner fought Michaela Meyer. Chantel Cameron fought Jessica McCaskill. Who had the biggest single win on that list? I don't think it's as clear cut as you think. Now, I think when you are thinking and deciding, you've got to think, okay, who went into the fight as an underdog? Like, who maybe surprised you? Who did you expect to lose on that list? And I think the first person that maybe surprised me a little bit, who I thought was going to maybe struggle, and I think a lot of you thought might have lost the fight, is Alycia Baumgardner. I don't think she went into the fight with Michaela Meyer as favourite. I think Michaela Meyer did. I really did. I look at what Michaela Meyer had done previous. I know Alycia had that very good win against Terry Harper, but I didn't think she looked great against Matisse, and I thought, okay, maybe the Terry Harper was just a one-off. So she went into that fight, for me, as a slight underdog. And I think we have to think of that and give that consideration when deciding who is the female fighter of the year. Did Katie Taylor go into the Amanda Serrano fight as a favourite? 50-50 fight, wasn't it? I think it was a 50-50 scrap. Claressa, I think, in my own personal opinion, was favourite against Savannah. That doesn't take away from the win, but I think she was favourite in my eyes. A lot of people over here had Savannah winning that fight. So who had the biggest single win? Chantel Cameron beat Jessica McCaskill. McCaskill's coming down in weight, though. Let's not forget that. Although McCaskill, I know she's a 147, but she fights at 144, so she's not coming down a lot, but she came down in weight. But also, she was the undisputed at 147, you know, having beaten Cecilia Brakus. Before I decide, I will say this. I do think I want to give some shout outs to a couple of ladies that I think have had really good years. Ebony Bridges. She's not on the list. She's had a good year. She's had a good year. She won the title from Maria Cecilia Roman, but her recent fight against Shannon O'Connell, like, whatever you say about Ebony Bridges, and I've said this on my video I did sort of looking back at the action in Leeds, for what she lacks in boxing ability, like, she's not anywhere near these four, for example, in terms of boxing ability, she makes up for in just pure brute force. And let's be honest, people, she surprised a lot of us. Like, no one expected this from Ebony Bridges, nobody. So congratulations to Ebony Bridges. I think Nina Hughes, that victory over Jamie Mitchell was a fantastic one as well. I think Tasha Jonas has had a good year going up 3 weight classes to become world champion, so she deserves her credit. But none of those ladies I just mentioned come close to these four for me. I'm going to do a process of elimination here. I'm going to take Chantel out. It was a good win over Jessica McCaskill, but it wasn't as good a win as the other three. It wasn't. It really wasn't. This is where it gets very, very difficult. Again, we're going on just a single win here because all their second fights are quite close. Again, Carbajal, Kozin, Matisse, Bustos, they're all quite close, aren't they? So we're just going on the biggest single win. It's not easy. It's not easy. Savannah Marshall was known as the big puncher, right? She was the big puncher going into this fight. A lot of you at home had Savannah as a favourite. I never did. Go and check my previous videos. I always said that Claressa, this is boxing overall, and she's the better boxer, right? I always said she was better than Savannah Marshall and she will get the win. So in my eyes, this is just me, she was a favourite to win that fight, although away from home. But for me, she was a favourite to win. And I look at Savannah's CV before that fight, and Savannah's a really good fighter. Is Savannah's CV anywhere near as good as Michaela Mayer or Amanda Serrano? No. So just on that basis, Claressa goes. Claressa is not my top two. Am I going crazy? It's a straight shootout for me between Katie Taylor and Alycia Baumgardner. Understand what I'm saying, people. Alycia Baumgardner's win over Michaela Mayer was a very, very solid win. Michaela Mayer is a very good boxer. Olympian herself. So far in the pros, perfect. And she was favourite. Michaela Mayer was favourite for that fight. Go and look at all the betting. Go and watch the previous video. She was favourite. Alycia Baumgardner got the victory. It was very, very close, but she got the victory. Is that as good, though, as Katie Taylor's win against Amanda Serrano? Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. It's good. It's very good, but it's not as good as Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. It's not. Amanda Serrano is the real deal. Like Amanda Serrano could be on this list because a lot of people in America, you know, my guy Ak, still thinks that Amanda Serrano won that fight. Still thinks that. But Katie Taylor got it. Got it on the scorecards. And that win right there, yeah, against Amanda. I know Amanda's coming up in weight, but Amanda is vicious. Vicious. And that at the time, I don't know what you got in your women's pound for pound rankings, but that could have been number 2 versus number 3. Right? Because I think a lot of people still have Claressa as number 1 pound for pound, or Katie. So it could have been number 1 versus number 3 or number 2 versus number 3. No one else on this list does that. No one else on this list is fighting someone that close to them. Like, Savannah's very, very good, but Savannah probably number 7 pound for pound. So it was number 1 versus number 7. Alycia maybe 5 versus, I don't know. Sorry, Michaela Mayer was 5. Alycia was 8. Do you know what I'm getting at? This was as close as it was. This was number 2 versus number 3 or number 1 versus number 3. And Katie Taylor squeaked it. That's why it's the single biggest win of everyone on this list. And that's why Katie Taylor, and this isn't don't you dare say, Addy, this is a DAZN matchroom thing. Don't you dare. That's why Katie Taylor, for me, is the female fighter of the year. Because, again, everyone's had 2 fights, but the second fight's been just an obvious win. She has the single biggest win. And that's why she's my female fighter of the year. Not easy. Not easy. Peace and love.